Hello, post-university esports fans. Warren JuggleGod Hammond here. It is week number 6 here at the ECAC and post-university, currently sporting a perfect record. They have gone 4-0, and tonight they're going to be going up against the University of Delaware, who's got a 3-1 record. The only loss that Delaware has taken was to Marquette University, who post-university beat in a 3-0. So I'm anticipating an exciting match here tonight. We're going to be starting things off on Lijiang Tower, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into the game. So one of the big players to watch for on the side of University of Delaware, which is going to be the team in blue right now. Big person to watch out for is going to be Firefly. They are a diamond player, so the kind of the duel going up between MultiKel and Firefly is going to be really, really fun to watch. Interesting looking compositions. Big difference is going to be in the DPS here, and actually the Baptiste as well. Baptiste going to be out there for University of Delaware. Post-University actually looks like they want to try and rotate Ghost so they can kind of get onto point and set up a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Nice Maywall comes out. Torero guns down. Frostbite, so that should give Post-University first possession here. So we can see Vero waiting patiently with that Maywall. Vero pushing out a little aggressively, gets caught out by a wall, so now it's going to have to pop into their turret form to try and put in a lot of damage. Make sure they don't go down. MultiKel actually going to fall right there. So now this is going to have to be... just hold on for dear life as long as you can. Torreira's going to see if they can maybe remove themselves from the situation, see if they can stay alive for the regroup. But great first possession coming out from Post-University. And yeah, definitely anticipating a lot of this back and forth here today between these two squads. Also, apologize, looks like my mic is cutting in and out. I'm going to see if I can get that fixed just as soon as I can. Vero once again almost caught out by the wall, but doesn't happen this time around. Firefly pushing pretty far forward right now. MultiKel definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Vero pushing in pretty aggressively to see if they can make a play for the point. Wall comes up, but everybody's able to get past it. Big sound barrier coming in from Ursodiumlvl to keep everybody alive during the gravitic flux. Looks like, though, nobody actually, I think, got caught into it, so now Post-University is going to have opportunity to retake the point without even getting a kill. Blizzard comes in, though. Firefly looks like they want to try and take out Vero, who does go down. A couple of players picked. So Post-University does get the point. They do get a little bit more percentage, but they are going to have to head back to spawn. So big things to watch for here. Jojo's Kitsune Rush. That probably going to be countered by Frostbite's sound barrier. That's going to be the big thing, is whether or not that is going to be needed or is going to be used for the Kitsune Rush. If it is, then perhaps MultiKel can use their ultimate afterwards. Here we go. Jojo's going to push it pretty aggressively with that Kitsune Rush. Vero goes down low. Nice TP from Jojo. Try and keep them alive. MultiKel now with their own ultimate. That's going to clear the point. 70% on the board, though, for University of Delaware. So they have definitely made a lot of progress here. They have done quite a good job, I think, of giving Post-University a run for their money. But right now, Post holding on pretty strong. They've got a couple of ultimates still in the bag. And to Frostbite's credit, they did not use the sound barrier there, recognizing that maybe this was going to be a lost fight and they were going to need it further on. Torero going for an early ultimate right here. Takes out the Immortality Field. Baits out the sound barrier, so that's going to be good. Firefly already down. Blizzard thrown in by Vero. They are just holding W as hard as they can. And that's going to send all of Delaware back to spawn. But that was also all of Post-University's ultimates except for the sound barrier. Sound barrier going to be the only thing that they still have. Ursodiumlvl going to need to make sure that they use this efficiently because Shy likely going to use their overclock here. Tries to knock down the Lucio. Beautiful play by Sodiumlvl. Give themselves an advantage, 85% on the board. So this is going to be last fight territory here as they find Shy. Shy was the main player with the ultimate. Fun. Firefly does have a grid event flux. They're going to need to use it soon, though. Somebody's actually going to have to touch point for University of Delaware, or this is going to be all over in favor of Post University. Lucio desperately trying to get there through the wall. Doesn't quite make it. Frostbite misses it by a hair. The rollout was solid, but just not quite fast enough.
0-1. Ready for battle.
Watch your flanks. They might try something.
Vero, of course, going on to one of her stronger characters, the Symmetra. Vero's all about the turrets. Vero, she uses the Sim, she uses the Torb. Love it when she plays either one of those heroes. So Post University should be able to get to point first. They're going to be able to set up the car wash as well. MultiKel should be able to go pretty aggressive here too, I think. But no, instead they're just going to kind of keep it on point. Sodiumlvl finds a boop off the map, almost gets Frostbite as well, but they're able to get back up. But that also means that there's no real support for the rest of University of Delaware. So Post University pushes back successfully. Delaware's going to have to wait on respawns, which means Post University will get first possession. Because that was so quick, though, no significant ultimates have been put up, though. You see Firefly has gone over to the Orisa now. Oh my gosh, but Sodium takes them off the map. Huge play coming out from the Lucio player. MultiKel goes in pretty aggressively here, gets walled off, but Terrera is able to make it in. The Sodiumlvl isn't gonna, or Shy is gonna be able to take out MultiKel, so now Post University needs to back up quite a bit, I think, and try and just play their life here. As yeah, Firefly is already back and looking to push in for University of Delaware. Soup as well is going to have this Amp Matrix, so that's going to be big. Great tracking coming out from the tank player here. Huge plays from Fireflies have taken out 2. Contributes to a 3rd. Post University, yeah, without their tank, MultiKel there, unfortunately just falls. But it's a solid 50% on the board now for Post University. And going into this, they're going to have a lot of very impactful ultimates, plus they got out the Amplification Matrix from Soup. So that means less on the board for Delaware here. Yeah, Post University deciding to rotate through White Room, which makes a lot of sense. You want to try and avoid those environmental kills. Of course, they still can come. You definitely need to watch out for Frostbite here. Watch for a speed boost coming in from Sodiumlvl to allow them to get to point, and then MultiKel to use their ultimate as well. Yeah, Shield's going to come in. Nice TP, but only part of the team gets it. Here comes the ultimate now. Blizzard out as well, though. Sound barrier from Sodium, huge. Kitsune Rush from Jojo as well. It is just chaos on point, but Shy coming in with some big plays with the overclock. That's going to give Delaware a big fight win because Post University spent 3 ultimates to try and take that point, and it was not enough. So, the other side of the thing, Delaware only spent 2, which they're going to be feeling good about. Amp Matrix, though, it's lagging a little bit behind. Not a whole lot gained over that last fight, so Firefly is really the only person with the... oh, big ultimate coming out from Firefly right away. Finds the 3K with the Terra Surge. Absolutely massive play. Post University just has to reset as quick as they can. They only utilize 1 ultimate, though, so they're going to have a couple things in the bag here, most notably the Death Blossom from Terrera. That's going to have to hit big here. And in fact, it's going to be the only thing that they really have to work with on this next fight. So we're going to be paying close attention to this Reaper. TP goes over to the backside of point. They're going to try and retake it before anybody can get to point, but Firefly is there. Terrera into the back line, tries for the Death Blossom, but a nice Javelin coming out from Firefly takes them out of the equation. Here comes the Amp Matrix now from Soup, who's going to be able to just heal right through everything that Post University is throwing there. Whereas the University of Delaware does a great job of rallying and taking sub-map number 2.
Hi there.
Score 1-1. Ready.
Pardon me for a second. There we go. Much better. So the name of the game, of course, here is going to be Brawl, and both these teams have shown that they know how to do exactly that. It's just going to come down to execution here. Vero and the rest of Post University is back on what worked for them previously. So we're going to hope that they're going to have a similar amount of success here. Oh, big wall is going to cut out Torero from the equation, but only for a moment. They go back into the turret form, taking out. Almost gets Frostbites, but a big Immortality Field helps. MultiKel, though, going to be able to find one. Despite all that, Firefly goes down under the barrage of damage coming out from Torero. And Post University makes quick work of that fight to claim the first capture. So this appears to be the equation that's going to work for Post University tonight against Delaware. Vero, once again, just kind of holding strong here with waiting for that wall, waiting to see if they can isolate Firefly. They are able to do that. They're going to try and descend, but what a great job from the rest of Delaware to just kind of make sure that they don't leave their tank at high and dry. Ursodiumlvl gets speared. They're actually in kind of an awkward position here. They try to get out, but they're unable to, so now it's going to be up to Jojo to try and keep the rest of the team alive. MultiKel does trade, though, for Soup. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, though, in that exchange. Jojo doing everything she can to keep Torero alive, but it's just not going to be enough. She's going to be sent back to spawn, but Vero's going to hold on to point as long as she can. 40-some% on the board for Post University. Crucially, they did that without having to spend any ultimates. But there's going to be 5 coming up for each squad at this point. Elena running a little bit behind. That might have been a fat finger right there. I am not sure. I think Frost is going to be a little disappointed by that. Torero going to go ahead and come in now with their ultimate. Unable to find just about anything. Amplification Matrix now for Sue. MultiKel takes a ton of damage. That's going to be very difficult to run through. They're just trying to shield themselves. As Firefly tries to take someone off the map, doesn't quite do it. Here comes the ultimate now from MultiKel. But that's going to be a big sound barrier from Ursodiumlvl to keep them alive. Under the threat from Shy, Ursodiumlvl is able to get them off the map. Sodium has just been fantastic with these environmental kills. Great retake coming out from Post University. But honestly, Shy, I think, is the player that Post University really needs to watch out for the most at the moment. Shy's overclocks have been phenomenal on the Sojourn. So, nice job slowing down, kind of isolating Firefly right there. Almost gets rid of the armor, but not quite. Firefly pushing pretty aggressive here, expecting an ultimate coming out pretty soon, especially because MultiKel has a wall behind him. Jojo now with the Kitsune Rush to try and keep her team alive. Backs up to point. Ursodiumlvl able to get a Yana. Big damage coming in, 75% on the board. Post University just has to win one fight. And if they can get a stagger right here, they can make this very painful for University of Delaware. 82%. So Delaware should be able to get one more fight, but it's going to be scrappy. It's going to be close, and it's all going to hinge on what Firefly can do with this Terra Surge. As you can see, already using that Javelin Spin to try and get out here as quickly as they can. They break down the wall to try and get the point, but beautiful body block there coming out from Vero. But now she's going to be behind. But in the meantime, MultiKel has got a couple of kills. They do get the touch. Here comes the Terra Surge from Firefly, but Firefly goes down before they can make anything happen. 99% on the board. Torero with a victory ultimate, and Post University takes map number 1. Yeah, Firefly with a huge play right here. This is going to be the Terra Surge on Gardens. Yeah, I mean, just a beautiful read and able to do it in such a way that Post University wasn't really, I think, aware of where Firefly was. So they just kind of backed out, or they didn't know where to back out, and so Firefly was able to get an enormous 3K right there, so kudos to them. Congratulations. But Post University is going to be the team that comes out on top in that first map. So currently sitting at 1-2-0. Looks like the next map might have already been picked. We might be just headed straight back in here. Yeah, looks like we probably are. But it is going to be Hollywood. So this is exciting. One of my favorite maps, and this is a map that really favors dive compositions in a big way, especially if you're talking about the streets phase of Hollywood. There's just so much high ground, and it's kind of omnipresent throughout the map. You know, there's maybe a little bit of space right at the beginning of the streets on Hollywood where the high ground isn't necessarily oppressive, but that doesn't last for very long, and you can still use that high ground to get some shots, to get some visibility of where the cart starts off. But I think we could see a shift here because I do believe this was Delaware's choice, so they might be looking to try and force the dive issue, see if maybe they can get Post University kind of off of this comfort pick, their brawl, which is just so strong. Only time is going to tell, though. It's going to be Post University back in on the red again. Post University still yet to drop a map. Still yet to drop a map this spring split.
Ready for battle.
Hello. From your daughter? I expected a lot more tantrums.
So Elena with the Torbjorn. Yeah, classic turret spot for the Torb, right behind these planters. That can definitely prove problematic for people. Post University sticking with what they know. And again, Shy, definitely a player to watch here. They have, I think, been the biggest thorn in Post University side so far.
Defend objective A.
Vero's got some nice charge on that rail. Didn't quite find anything, though. This is an interesting approach. They're actually going to kind of go for the low ground right here. Nice shield coming out, though, from Firefly. That's going to make it very difficult for MultiKel to get heals. They go down almost immediately, so great first defense already coming out here for University of Delaware, as Vero has to back out as well. Jojo eventually TPs out, too, to safety, so back to the drawing board for Post University. MultiKel's back, though. I'll be curious to see if they try for a similar approach. Yeah, it looks like MultiKel is going to try and give a little bit of room now for Post University to rotate over the back. This is big because Firefly has already used Kinetic Grasp too. They spot the turret as well almost instantly. Rock comes in. That's going to knock MultiKel down for a second, but they jump back up, fists of flying. Firefly goes down pretty low. Vero does find Frostbite. Terrero picks up right after that. And Post University, once they get to point, are able to safely and quickly secure that capture. There actually might be an opportunity here to touch. Lucio, no, not going to be able to make it. So now this high ground is what really is going to become important here. As we can see, Delaware already setting up, and yeah, Shy, this is going to be prime hunting grounds for them. So Post University needs to be aware of that. I'm anticipating Ursodiumlvl, potentially even trying to it's going to be up to Ursodiumlvl, I think, to try and boop a lot of these people off the high ground. A lot of the players from Delaware. Terrero, though, already takes out Frostbite. Firefly finds their way onto the ground. Ursodiumlvl gives chase, finds the pick. Post University doesn't even look like they need to get up to the high ground, but Ursodiumlvl takes a lot of damage. Shy is still up here, though, and Post needs to be aware of that. Actually, going to go ahead and pull back here. Look for a different spot to set up. Yeah, the jail, another favorite spot to take the high ground here, especially on defense. But Post University is pushing this card very quickly, so Delaware is likely only going to have one more opportunity here to try and hold on to this point. Big amplification matrix coming in, though. Shy goes back towards it. That's going to give Vero, though, the high ground for Post University. They go down very low as Eliana takes out Torero. Here comes a multi-core onto the point, though, to prevent Post University from being able to do anything about it. And Vero unable to get the damage in that she needed to kind of support her team, who just gets taken out on point. Great plays coming out from Delaware there to kind of hold on to that. They only expend 2 ultimates, which means they're going to have several good ones moving into this fight. Ursodiumlvl already used their sound barrier too, so this gravitic flux could be pretty big. It's really, I think, going to be on Post University to just try and not get caught in that. That's going to be the name of the game here. Chura has an ultimate ready to go, as does Vero. Ooh, Firefly actually pushing up onto that high ground. Gonna have to use the kinetic grasp again. Yeah, here comes Vero's ultimate, as well as Torero's. They just blanket the ground. Unable to find anything, though, except for death and destruction, as Delaware holds on strong once again. The big thing there for Delaware is they only used 1 ultimate. That was just the overclock from Shy, who, again, has just been doing phenomenal for Delaware. So, Post University in a tough spot here. They've got 2.5 minutes left, so this fight might be a wash right here. They're going to be going up against a Gravitic Flux and a window later into that fight, which is also just going to help Delaware recharge the rest of their ultimates. So, ooh, Soap actually playing with fire right there, going up that early, as we can see both squads facing off here on top of the buildings. Post University just doesn't want to move in, and Shy finds the rail. Post University, I think, just tried to stage a little bit too long here, so now they're going to just have to hold on. They're just going to have to wait, maybe try and take a little bit of space here while they hope that Torero can get back to the fight quick enough. Here comes the amplification matrix now. It's able to be used. Shy again from this high ground. This is going to be a tough position for them to deal with, as Frostbites and Elena take out another pair. So, Post University back to the drawing board once again, and Delaware didn't even need to spend that ultimate. So, Vero's opted to go back over to the main. So, see if maybe that'll work a little bit better. Firefly's shield is down, but Post University is nowhere even close to really get much done. Here comes that Gravitic Flux. It's going to be 2 players caught in it, but Ursodiumlvl does have the sound barrier. They're able to get it out in time, so they try and move back to point. Minute left to go here, as Delaware's defense has shown some fierce teeth right here. And Torero down once again. Post University just cannot find a way into this point. Here comes the overclock again from Shy. Tries to find something, but Post University this time is aware. Gets a beautiful rail onto Jojo. And Post University really struggling to get anything going here with 30 seconds left to go. They're going to have to wait for their team back up. You're going to be looking at a multi-core as well as a sound barrier. So even with, potentially a Kitsune Rush, even with MultiKel's ultimate as well, if they can get it off, but Firefly takes them out as they just push a little too far forward. Torero, though, is onto the soldier, finds Elena. It's going to be a 1-for-1 pick, but with MultiKel down, that might be more significant. Torero looking for an opportunity up top, seeing if they can find a little bit of damage. Throws in some Helix Rockets, but doesn't find anybody. Somebody from Post University going to have to touch. As here comes the Kitsune Rush from Jojo. Great timing for that. Elena does get the Molten Core off. They go down low, but not low enough for Post University's preferences. The Immortality Field a little too much as Elena and Soup find a pair of kills. And Post University down 2 players with an Amplification Matrix. Here comes the ult from MultiKel, but the sound barrier is there. The overwhelming numbers advantage to University of Delaware. So that's going to be as far as the card gets for Post University. Honestly, a phenomenal defensive hold coming out for University of Delaware.
To 1. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Let's take a peek at that golden box of victory. Right in between the county jail and the saloon is where University of Delaware is going to try and push that cart. Post University with a little bit different look coming out here. MultiKel going to opt for the battle cattle this time around.
Follow my lead. I'll make sure this goes smoothly.
Let's get moving. I got papers to sign.
Vero actually picking up the mantle of the Bastion this time around. It's going to be Torero with Sojourn and Sodium on the Zenyatta. So this is going to be a lot of damage that Post University is going to be putting in. So watch for them to try and actually maybe even pick out members of Delaware on rotation here. That could, in fact, be what they're looking for. That could be the key. MultiKel drops, or actually I guess stays on the ground. Sodiumlvl looks for a 5-orb, doesn't quite find anything. Sodiumlvl actually playing pretty aggressively right here, but MultiKel's holding that space well, so feels like they don't necessarily have a whole lot to look with. Beautiful headshot! The flank Yada coming in big. So Post University should be able to hold here for just a moment. Sodiumlvl playing with fire, though. At some point, I feel like Delaware's going to be aware that the Zenyatta is flanking, and Zen doesn't really have a whole lot of disengage. So that could be a problem. Everybody else going to drop back down onto the low ground here. Except for Vero, who's just going to keep to this high ground, throwing as much damage as they can. Sodiumlvl that time almost pays for the greedy orbs with their life. Ooh, Vero taking a lot of damage on this high ground. Going to be forced off. Torero tries to kind of make some of it up as they push forward. Big Transcendence coming out in the face of that amplification matrix. MultiKel does have a Terra Surge, but Shy again with the rails has just been on it over and over again. So Post University needs to do their best now to try and stabilize here. So we see MultiKel actually going pretty aggressive here onto that high ground. But they pay for it with the life as the rest of the team wasn't really there to support them. So now the rest of the team going to go ahead and fall, get sent back to spawn. And I think it's going to be a little too many staggers for Post University to realistically be able to recontest here. So now Post is going to set up on this high ground. We can see Torero taking that corner spot again. A lot of big ultimates coming up. Torero does find Soup. That's going to be huge. Likely not going to get a whole lot of cart push here. Should stop right at these doors while they wait for Soup to kind of regroup the rest of the squad. Anticipating a Kitsune rush, I think we're going to see probably Jojo drop in with it as this comes around the corner. But Elena finds Torero. That's going to be huge for University of Delaware. MultiKel going in pretty aggro. They're looking for big ultimate, but they're not going to find it as MultiKel has to use just about everything they have to stay alive. Jojo almost goes down, but MultiKel does find Soup. So it's a 1-for-1 trade as the rest of the team finds their way back up onto the high ground to see if they can now contest the cart. Kidab, Grasp, and Wall are out, so Post University could push this if they want to, but instead, it looks like they gave up the high ground, and now Delaware wants to try and take that for themselves. So we can see them trying to start to kind of push around here. Yeah, Post University just unable to regroup quick enough. So now Delaware is going to be able to force this issue when they want to. They're going to be able to take the timing that they want. Post University staying pretty grouped up, which is going to be good for a kinetic or for a gravitic flux. But nobody's going to go down from it. Great job staying alive, but MultiKel does fall. Jojo with just a sliver of health as well. Hoping to stay alive here. They're holding on to the Kitsune rush. They might need to use it soon because Vero has fallen too, and there's not a whole lot separating this team from victory here on Hollywood. And Post University dropping their first map. Somebody from Post is going to have to touch, but that cart is moving quickly. Terrera over to the side. MultiKel does make it out onto point, but there's a ton of damage going in there. Vero tries to get back, but they're unable to. MultiKel does find one. Terrera up on the high ground, trying to make something happen. Here comes a Transcendence from Ursodiumlvl to try and come here. Jojo with the overclock, seeing if they can make something happen, but Firefly finds Terrero. Ursodiumlvl just kicking and throwing orbs in as furiously as they can, and Delaware is going to even the series at 1 apiece.
Play of the game.
Yeah, the DPS from University of Delaware showed up in a huge way during this map. It's a big amplification matrix as well to help Elena really get some of those picks in. So, this is going to be exciting chat. This is the first time that Post University has been pushed a little bit. They are now tied at 1 apiece, so we're at least going to see 4 maps here tonight. Believe we're going to throw it to a short break, so don't go anywhere. We will be back soon. Welcome back, everybody. Short break as the players just want to push through. So we're going to be headed back into the action very soon. But let's take a moment to chat about what Post University, I think, needs to do kind of in light of dropping their very first map at all in ECAC in the spring. So to me, I think the big thing they need to watch out for clearly is the DPS of Delaware, right? And the DPS of Delaware, I think, are taking some really good positions right now. They're finding some off angles that Post University just is not expecting, and neutralizing Post University's DPS as a result. So what I want to see from Post University is a little bit more of awareness of where, a little bit more game sense, right? Where is University of Delaware's, where are their DPS? Right? keeping track of that and then seeing if they can neutralize it, maybe having Sodiumlvl if they choose to go back to the Lucio, try and find a way to get them off whatever high ground they're on, things like that. I think that's going to be the name of the game for Post University. But we're going to be headed into Junkertown. This will be Post University's pick.
3, 2, 1.
They're definitely going to have to watch out for Shy, who is brandishing the Widowmaker. Ooh, I'm surprised that did not land onto Sodiumlvl. Yeah, Shy's aim is phenomenal. So that's definitely going to be a big thing Post University needs to keep track of, be aware of, as Vero takes a couple of shots too, but almost finds Shy with the rail. Not quite though. Post University making their way up kind of slowly. But I like this kind of slow, steady approach, right? Firefly has to use their kinetic grasp. It's going to be an opportunity for Post to push forward. It's MultiKel. Has to use Fortify. Stay on the point. Javelin gets eaten. And now Elena trying to put the hurt on the MultiKel, who has to use their Fortify once again. Shy does eventually find Jojo. But Vero has pushed up to this high ground to contest Shy. They are able to find him, so that's going to just be an advantage for Post University. That is until Soup has something to say about it. And they take down Vero, so Post University gets a little bit of progress, but nothing significant, as they're probably going to have to slow down just a little bit here as they wait for the rest of their team. Lena tries to isolate with the Mei wall, but doesn't find anything. And Shy is going to be back into the mix now, so that's definitely something Post University needs to be aware of, needs to keep track of. MultiKel pushing through. Here comes a big Terra Surge. They find Firefly. Soup is going to counter with a Amplification Matrix, but it's all going to be for naught. 2 ultimates come in. That is huge for Post University. Actually, no, that's going to be 3 ultimates used. And Post University gets the fight win. They're going to be able to get the point as well, so I don't think anybody's going to be able to push up quite quick enough. My question now is, where is MultiKel going to try and set up here? They're going to stay with the card, I think, just to ensure that it makes it through. So not a whole lot of people on the high ground for either squad. MultiKel takes quite a bit of damage. That head hitbox is huge, but Vero able to find the neutralizing pick onto Shy. Forced to drop down to get a little bit of heals here as Jojo comes to support her as well. Wall goes out, almost separates one, but Torero does find Soup in the meantime. Frostbite's coming in with the Transcendence to try and hold on here. Here comes a big Gravitic Flux, but the Transcendence is there from Sodiumlvl. They're going to go right in with a Kitsune Rush after that as well to try and secure the rest of this point. Sodiumlvl does go down. They get Mei down low, but Elena's able to heal up as MultiKel finds another pick. Torero now on the low ground with the Soldier, finishing off what MultiKel has started, and Post University really seems to have found their footing here. Very quick work that they made of that second point. Delaware's in a tough spot here because they don't have any significant ultimates coming up. Actually, the Blizzard should be here as well as the Amplification Matrix, so that could be problematic, and Sodiumlvl does not have a Transcendence yet. Vero, once again, taking this high ground, looking to hold on to it, but Soup going to be able to hold on to it a little bit stronger. Here comes another Terra Surge. Shy goes down low. MultiKel able to finish them off, finds another spear. It's 1-for-1, though, trade. It's a 3v3 on point, but that Amplification Matrix going to be problematic. Post University, though, they use great game sense and positioning to just kind of get out of the way of that Amplification Matrix, so it doesn't really do a whole lot, but Frostbites does find Jojo and the rest of the support line. So, Post University is stopped for a moment. Going to be watching for Vero's overclock here. Blizzard coming in now from Elena, but it looks like everybody's going to be able to get out of the way. But they've kind of siphoned themselves into this stairway. Could have been a difficult position to be in, but they're able to kind of shake off any problems. Rock goes out. It's not going to find Vero, but in the meantime, MultiKel does fall, so Post University going to have to wait again. I like that right there. Vero was charging her rail shot off of Firefly shield, since it wasn't realistic for her to maybe necessarily get a pick. Instead, try and take down some of that shield health. Ooh, Disruptor goes out, forces Ice Block onto Elena, and the wall has already come out as well, so Post University could have a great opportunity to push out here, but they're going to be pushing into 3 ultimates too, and that could be problematic. Shy on that high ground, causing problems. Torero does go down, so now Post University kind of finds themselves once again in this position where Delaware has found a way to hold, right? They stopped the bleeding, they kind of stopped the push coming in from Post University. Because of that, they've been able to set up and just have great positioning, which Post University just having a difficult time dealing with. Now they're going to be looking at a Gravitic Flux as well, but Sodiumlvl does have Transcendence. Definitely going to want to hold on to that. Rihanna takes a bit of damage. Sodiumlvl rotate with the rest of the team now. So attack visor coming out too. That could be big, especially with it could be a visor rush. Yeah, here it comes. We got the visor. Transcendence comes out from Frostbites.
This ends now.
Yeah, and here come now the overclocks from both Sojourns. Transcendence from Post University. The window trying to get in damage, but they're not going to be able to do a lot because of that extra healing coming out from the Zenyatta. Pick already onto Shy. Torero finds 3. Vero picks up a 4th. The Post University with a minute and a half left to go. It's going to pick up the cart. It's going to be the last little bit of a push that they need. MultiKel playing up pretty far. Ooh, Shy takes a lot of damage, so they could be able to finish him off. Beautiful play there. Aggressive positioning from Post University to just try and take everybody out before they have an opportunity to touch, and that is exactly what happens. Minute 15 on the clock for Post.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So how is University of Delaware going to respond here? What is going to be their answer to what Post University has been throwing at them? The DPS line for Post has had to play a little bit of Mystery Heroes, but they've settled on, I think, a solution here. They've settled on a formula that's working. And not only a formula, but again, I think they've really started to challenge the DPS, right, for their positioning. Shy definitely had a much more difficult time. Shy was not getting the kind of value that they got the first, or at least on Hollywood.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Yeah, once again, Shy back on the Widowmaker. No surprise there. Takes a shot. Looks like they're going to swap now. Soup taking a pretty aggro position up top. Actually, Shy sticking with the Widowmaker for now. Seeing if they can find a headshot, but a lot of orbs come in. And yeah, they're just taking damage left and right and looking for a way to stay healed with Spawn. Rail goes in, not quite finding their mark. Yeah, this duel with Vero proving pretty exciting, but Vero does eventually drop. MultiKel in the meantime does find Frost, who either MultiKel dove in very aggressively or Frost must have find themselves in an awkward position. Vero needs to keep track of Shy up on that high ground. Ooh, a little bit of damage comes in, but not enough to do anything significant. Got a nice rail charge going up. See if they can find someone with it. Firefly takes a lot of damage. Big Suzu there from Jojo to kind of save her team, keep them alive there. So they took a tremendous amount of damage. Sodium, in the meantime, outsnipes the sniper. Finds a head with an orb. And now Shy has gone back over to the Sojourn. Says the Widowmaker just not getting what I needed. Big amplification matrix comes out. Post University takes a lot of damage, and now kind of finding themselves in an awkward position here. They don't have a good way to escape. Here comes the Kitsune Russia trying to help them get out of dodge. Transcendence to keep them alive in the face of this blizzard. But in the meantime, Shy does find a pick. Torero coming out with a big visor in the Terra Surge, which nets 2 kills. So great rally there after taking a little bit of damage, putting themselves in a kind of a scary spot there.
Hello.
Hello to you as well, Sodium. But that just about emptied the tank for Post University. It's really going to be down to Vero to hold on to this if it comes down to ultimates. Here comes a Gravitic Flux. Vero almost finds her way into it, says nope. At the last moment, skids to a halt. MultiKel taking a lot of damage, just trying to hold back the force that is University of Delaware. Firefly pushing forward pretty aggro. Vero takes a bit of damage. It's forced to back up as well. Sodium goes down, so now Delaware are going to be able to push forward pretty aggressively. They're going to be able to take a lot of space here. But Post University, ooh, with Jojo going down, might not have another defense here. If they do get another defense here, it's going to be a little bit scuffed. It's going to be a little bit tough. MultiKel thinking about it, weighing the options right now. Yeah, they are eventually going to drop. Big pick from Vero. They're going to go down, though, as the trade comes in. So still, that's going to be a player advantage for University of Delaware. But Jojo should be back into the fray at this point. Here comes an amplification matrix, too, and with Shy behind that, that's going to be problematic. Sodiumlvl does find one, though. Great use of this new natural cover, though, by MultiKel to kind of stick it out. As Sodiumlvl goes very, very low, but does not fall. So what a hold from Post University. 40 seconds left to go here. And that was just about everything that the University of Delaware had. This is all going to be riding, I think, on Elena's Blizzard. But Sodiumlvl does have a Transcendence ready to go. Sodiumlvl playing pretty aggro, though. Look at this flank, though, from Shy. This could be a pretty big deal. Oh, it's spotted out by Torero, though. They're going to be able to take him down. So now MultiKel and the rest of the squad going to have a much easier time. They don't have to worry about that DPS Phenom. But, again, Elena does now have the Blizzard. Goes out immediately, but MultiKel eats it! Huge play from them. Frostbite going to go ahead and use the Transcendence as well, but it expires right as MultiKel uses the Terra Surge. Huge plays coming out from Post University, but MultiKel certainly the hero right there with a massive eat, followed by a huge ult and an incredible javelin, and that will be Post University taking map number 2. And part of me thinks we're going to be seeing this eat right here. Yeah, that's going to be the Terra Surge right there at the end. Oh no, this was on attack, I believe. Yeah, this was an attack play here, but just phenomenal stuff coming out from Post University there. So they have found themselves on match point for making some adjustments and really putting their foot in, putting their foot down and saying, yeah, you're not getting any farther. That was such a big difference from Hollywood to here. So I think that was a lot of big adjustments. I think probably Frosty in there as coach, saying a lot of good things, getting them to really focus in and yeah, just make the adjustments that they needed to, because there were compositional adjustments, but again, I think it was kind of the gameplay adjustments that really made the difference here. So great stuff just all the way around from Post University. So now it's going to go back to University of Delaware's pick. I believe we're going to either, I believe we go to push next, but I am not positive, so we'll just have to wait a moment to see what that is. But if we do go push, I would anticipate we're going to see something like, I don't think we'll see New Queen Street. Actually, no, New Queen Street could be good for them. It's going to be Coliseum, though. Coliseum is actually, this makes a lot of sense because there's a lot more high ground, I think, here that could really be taken advantage of. by the University of Delaware. So I think that's going to be the big thing for Post to watch out for. In addition, it's also this could be really, really good for Shy, right, who was doing just a great job finding those picks. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Shy come out on the Widowmaker again. They didn't find a lot of value, but I don't think it's not necessarily because they can't land the headshots. I think they just weren't able to find the angles to get the good and easy headshots. So we'll see what happens here as we load in to Colosseo.
Ready for battle.
Ooh, MultiKel going for the JQ. So this is going to be a very, very aggressive composition coming out from Post University. I'm going to be looking for them to just kind of walk through Firefly.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Shout going to give him the speed boost along with Ursodiumlvl. He's back on the Lucio. Oh, wow. They're actually looking to completely come in behind them. Love this play. I'm excited to see how this is going to work out as Shy. Yeah, going to be the first person to kind of meet him. They're able to take him out immediately. MultiKel finds that first pick with no problem. So now, what does University of Delaware do in response? Wall goes up to try and just get rid of some of the bleeding, but what this does mean is Delaware does have the card. They're going to start walking with it. Ursodiumlvl tries to catch up to it a little bit. Big axe comes through, doesn't quite land as Firefly forced to try and use that Javelin Spin to stay alive, but in the absence of all that damage coming in from Shy, Post University is able to take the first fight win. So now, my question is, how does Post University deal with this? Because even though they took the first fight win here, Delaware is going to have this high ground, which has been so good for them. Post University is going to need to find a way to get up there and get up there quickly. So I'm looking at Torero, I'm looking at MultiKel and Sodium. Actually, everybody has a lot of mobility up to that high ground. The question is, how are they going to do it? How are they going to execute it? Because now they've got to worry about Elena as well, who's going to have that wall to try and isolate. But instead, it's going to be Delaware that drops. Wall goes out, but they don't find too much from it. Firefly goes in with the Javelin Spin to try and make something happen, but doesn't necessarily find anything. Ursodiumlvl has to drop back just a little bit. Torero takes a lot of damage too, but the Immortality Field has been forced. It is down now. Firefly goes into aggressive again. They are able to find Vero with that kind of aggressive play. And Matrix comes out too, and with that, Delaware takes the bot. So now, can Post University get out here? Jojo, fortunately, TPs to a spot where they don't really have a lot of options. And now Firefly trying to chase down Torero, but unable to do it. Oh, they do, in fact, get them, so that's going to be devastating for Post University. University of Delaware probably going to be able to take the lead here now because they were able to get that extra little bit of just bot push at the beginning. MultiKel pretty close to that Rampage. That's going to be the big, I think, determining factor here. Suzu has to be used immediately because a lot of damage comes in. Here comes the sound barrier from Frostbite. Vero does go down. Firefly is able to find them. That Blizzard paying dividends here for University of Delaware. University of Delaware may even be able to get the checkpoint here. In fact, I think it's pretty likely that they will. Especially because, again, Torero did find themselves staggered once again. Yeah, they are not quite going to be able to get the checkpoint. So Post University does a great job dropping here right at the last moment. Big pick coming out for a Post University as MultiKel uses their ultimate as well. That's going to be nothing that University of Delaware can do in response to it. Soup trying desperately to just stagger out, stall out that point as long as they can. But again, the big thing for Post University is that Delaware did not get the butt scratch. They did not get the checkpoint. So once again, Post University finds themselves in this same spot. Firefly going in straight for the Terra Surge. Jojo gets caught in kind of an awkward position, eats a Javelin. So down to a 4v5 for Post University. Plus, Shy has that overclock going, but they're unable to find. Oh, take that back. They find Vero just at the last moment of that. And with that, Post University falls once again. So they're able to win a fight. They're able to kind of stop the bleeding. Torero, once again, going to be the last player standing. But Post University definitely needs to change something up here. They've got a lot of big ultimates coming up. Could easily be a big part of it. Can Post University get there before? Yeah, it looks like they will be able to. MultiKel drops onto the point to keep them from doing anything. But Firefly comes in with a huge Javelin to take out Jojo. But in the end, Post University is able to rally. Vero finding 2 in the back line. That looked like it could have been devastating for Post University, but they turn it around with some great heads-up play. Torero swapping over to the Soldier, saying this Reaper is not getting the value that he had hoped. So Vero has an overclock ready to go here. They're going to have to play around Frostbite's sound barrier, though. They want to try and bait that out as quick as they can. Ooh, a lot of damage going into Elena. They forced to use Ice Block there. Soup now taking a good amount of damage. Here comes a Blizzard, though. It's going to be a trade. Oh, but Soup finds one more. It's going to be another one. So Post University, once again, they're able to win a fight, but they aren't able to really get any card progress to speak of. So Vero going to try and take off, see if they can escape with their life this time. Ooh, looks like they'll barely be able to, as Sodium trying to help them stay alive as well. Once again, Post University going to try and stop this card before anything happens. Looks like Firefly may have DC'd there for a moment. So yeah, we're going to get a pause, which I'm not surprised about. We're going to wait for a moment just to see what's going on there. Looks like there was a lag spike for the entire team right there, so it likely wasn't just Firefly. So that's rough for Delaware. But right now, I mean, they're doing great. They've got about a 30-meter lead on Post University, which means on it, I think realistically, Post University is going to have to win 3 fights in 3 kind of, not necessarily in a row, but uncontested fights or unanswered fights, which I guess would be in a row now that I think about it. Post University needs to win about 3 fights in order to take the lead here, right? Because at this point, the bot's back at the checkpoint for University of Delaware. So that's 1 fight right there. They're going to have to win that second fight right kind of at that corner where they're having so many problems, right? Where Delaware just kind of starts out with that high ground advantage. And then I think they're going to need to win 1 more in order to get that checkpoint. So it's possible they only need 2, but I think likely it's going to be 3. We are back into the game, though. And Post University, off of that pick or 2, is able to pick things back up quickly and effectively. So now, once again, we're going to have to see about this regroup. Vero taking this high ground, which is what she needs to do. Got some good opportunities for shots here, but I think the rest of the team knows that they're there. Ooh, Frostbite's coming in pretty aggro. Yeah, here comes the ultimate, though, from Vero. She takes a good bit of damage, forced back, and in the meantime, the picks are coming in. Actually, that was going to be the ultimate from Shy. Shy pops theirs first and is able to get that pick, so we head back. It's just a back and forth affair here. Post University has to find a way to deal just with this high ground, right? Just with the positioning that Delaware seems to be able to come up with every single time. Torero comes in big with a pick right there to start things off. Firefly tries to get something going with the Terra Surge, does find Jojo. Torreira going down low, crosses in front of an amplification matrix, which means they are going to meet their demise. But MultiKel finds 2. Can they turn this around once again? Delaware is going to be denied the checkpoint. 2 minutes left to go, and that was a decent amount of ultimates expended. That's going to be 3 within the last 2 fights for University of Delaware. But they're going to have a Blizzard coming up, and Elena's Blizzards have been just devastating. Ursodiumlvl does have Sound Barrier, though. Jojo's going to have a Kitsune rushing. We can see Vero's already taken this high ground positioning, but gets just destroyed from it. Torreira going to see if they can pick up where they left off, maybe find something, but the Sound Barrier is there, and now they're in a tough position because they're behind enemy lines with no help, no heals. And once again, Post University, they're moving the cart. They've made some progress. They forced out a Blizzard as well, but they do eventually lose the fight. But progress has been made, so now I think it's more realistic to say that if Post University is going to get the lead, they can do it in 2 fights. But they spent all their ultimates, as did University of Delaware. We're looking realistically at 2 fights left before overtime kicks in. Ooh, Torreira back onto the Bastion, puts in a lot of damage onto Firefly, who's forced to kind of wait. Oh, big Javelin coming in there from MultiKel. Can they chase down Firefly here, who's taking a lot of damage? They drop back all the way to that mega health pack, which means Post University going to be able to take a lot of good space here. They're going to be able to take this fight in a much better position for themselves. Ice block forced out. Firefly goes down low. That forces out Immortality Field. And now, yeah, MultiKel uses their body to block some of the heals and help get the rest of that damage in. Elena backing off, forced to throw out the Mei Ice Wall to try and save their own lives. And now, actually, because of the way that Delaware disengaged, Post University might not be able to get that bot up to exactly where they wanted. But this was going to be the last fight here. Shy coming in with another overclock. Can they find what they need? Elena does go down as MultiKel's able to find a pick. Here comes an amplification matrix, so the Immortality Field has to be used. Firefly now with a Terror Surge of their own that does find Jojo. Shy gets Ursodiumlvl, so there's no supports left, but MultiKel with a 2K Terra Surge. Nobody left, it's just Shy, but at the last moment, Post University is going to just about get the point. Frostbite comes in for a last moment contest. Elena now drops onto the point with the ice block. The rest of Post University just has to wait for them to get out of it. They are able to duck and dodge just about well enough. Firefly comes in onto the Diva to try and stall out point. Can they make anything happen here? They do take out Torreira. Soup is here now, 64 meters and falling, but Post University doesn't quite get it, I don't think. No, it is Firefly. And the rest of the University of Delaware at the last moment, they push everybody else off of point. It was just the spawn advantage. Post University was so close to putting that one away, but we are going a full 5 here today. What a showing from University of Delaware there at the last moment to hold on for dear life. And at Post University, that was right there. It was so ready for them, but a phenomenal showing by Delaware to keep themselves in the game, keep themselves in the match. So we're going to see a full 5 here for Post University. The first time they have gotten pushed this far. It will be Flashpoint that we head to next. Pardon me. So it's going to be Post University's pick. So the debate has started. I think, honestly, either map would serve them well. But I think New Jug City might be the way to go. Those maps feel a little better for the brawl, in my opinion. Plus, there's not as much high ground. I think in New Junk City, which I think has been the big problem here for post-university, right? Is just kind of dealing with that. But we'll have to wait and see. Quite the debate happening here in chat for Post University. Oh, actually, looks like they're going to take a break now. So we're going to send it to, yeah, we're going to send it to a break for about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're just about to get into it once again. If you are just joining us, it has been a very exciting match here tonight. The most exciting one I think we've seen for this Post University's Eagle squad this spring. Currently, University of Delaware is taking them all the way to Map 5, the first team to do that this entire spring. Once again, Post University right now sitting at a 4-0 record. University of Delaware 3-1. The only loss Delaware has taken was against Marquette, who Post University handled with relative ease, could be said. So we are headed to New Junk City. That is going to be Post University's pick that thinks they think this is where they are going to find the success that they need to take this series.
Ready for battle.
It all comes down to this, our first flashpoint map of the season for Post. And it's back to the winning formula here. Vero and Torero on the Bastion in May. No surprises here. Firefly going back on that Sigma. So look for Post University to try and kind of close this gap a little bit, while University of Delaware is going to want to keep them kind of at a distance. Wall goes out to isolate MultiKel, who goes down, takes a little bit of damage, but they're able to kind of sustain themselves through it. And you can see at this point, right, Post University is kind of able to hold on to this position right here. Frostbite might try to touch in a moment, but it could be that just Post University gets this point uncontested. Yeah, as now Delaware is struggling with a way to try and find themselves onto the point. Ursodiumlvl trying to duel, though Shy, they're able to get that pick. Huge pick there for Post University. And now Elena forced to go into the ice block, and Ursodiumlvl harassing them as well. They're going to be able to get this pick down too. So that is a massive stagger, and on Flashpoint, you really can't afford staggers like that at all. Torero now throwing down a lot of damage. As Firefly tries to eat it up with her gravitic, or with her kinetic grasp. Ursodiumlvl already has a sound barrier. That is huge. They've been a huge part of the success so far of this squad here on New Junk City. So now an interesting rotation coming out. Yeah, they're going to try and push him in. Big boop there onto Firefly, but Firefly does find Torero, and now Shy has this high ground kind of uncontested. So Post University backing up to point. MultiKel falls right as Jojo uses the Kitsune Rush. The sound barrier comes in as well. Post University will get this fight to 99%, but they're going to have to try and retake it. And that's going to be rough for Post University because they used both support ultimates during that fight. So this retake is not going to be easy for them. Especially as they're staring down 5 ultimates here from University of Delaware. So Post University might have to try and take this on their second attempt. That's probably realistically going to be their best opportunity. But MultiKel tried to force the issue on point right from the word go. They're trying to take it from below. Vero's Blizzard could be the key to success here, but again, they're just going to have to try, make sure they either neutralize Frostbite or something else. Here comes a Gravitic Flux. It is going to catch a couple of players, and again, there's no big Suzu coming out from Jojo, though, to keep them alive. Here comes a Blizzard from Elena. That is going to be them taking this fight win, and because Post University, I think, took so long to try and make this happen, University of Delaware is going to take the fight win. They're going to put 1 point on the board first here on Flashpoint. So now, time to see where we head next as the University of Delaware starts to push out here. It's going to be Junkyard next. So one of the closest ones, honestly, to this first point and to everybody's spawn. Delaware going to be able to get the point first now, but the ult rotation is going to favor Post University at this point because look at that. University of Delaware, they won that point, but they had to spend 4 ultimates. Ursodiumlvl going pretty aggro already, but pays for it with their life. So Post University might have to be content to just kind of wait for Sodium to get back before they try and push in and take this. Ooh, Torreira going to go in with an ultimate right off the bat, though. See if they can find somebody. Oh, they destroy that high ground, taking out Shy. So now Post University has an opportunity to push in, as Jojo is going to go ahead and use that Kitsune Rush to try and make something happen. But the amplification matrix proving to be a little bit too much, as two picks come right on the tail of each other for University of Delaware. Suzu comes in to try and make sure everybody can survive, but it doesn't look like that will be the case, as Jojo now is going to be the last player here. And fortunately for Post, they don't really stagger Jojo that bad. Vero taking a ton of damage on the approach already. Wall comes out, doesn't necessarily find anybody this time around. This Terra Surge from MultiKel needs to be big, and we can see that Multi is already trying to kind of like push the issue on the high ground here. Firefly gets knocked out of the sky. Big javelin coming out from MultiKel. Now they've got an opportunity after this. Oh, but the blizzard's coming in. MultiKel is going to be falling. And with that, University of Delaware has put themselves on match point. They just need to win one more point here on Flashpoint. Post University has to be perfect from here on out if they hope to stay in this and take this series. And Torreira swapping to the Junkrat. That Riptire can be an absolutely devastating ultimate, so I think that's going to be the plan here. MultiKel still holding on to this Terra Surge. It's like both squads are going to get here at about the same time. And from roughly the same place as well. Damage coming in. Nice Javelin. They are able to find Frostbite, so Post University should be able to take control of this as long as they play things right. Nice focus fire onto Firefly. Lena with no ice block left to go here, so Post University will take this fight. And now they're going to be able to do it without using any ultimates as well. So MultiKel keeps that Terra Surge, and Torreiro's going to be able to get their Riptire online probably towards the end of this next fight. Jojo going to have the Amplification Matrix too. They have she's gone ahead and swapped over to the Baptiste. So I'm definitely going to be looking at that as one of the big ways that they keep alive. Yeah, here comes the Terra Surge now. MultiKel doesn't find anybody with it, but it does force out the Immortality Field. Jojo goes down low, Torreira does, but they're able to find a kill anyway. So now Post University starting off well here. Just need to win one more fight to take this point and to stay in this match. And again, Jojo now has that Amplification Matrix, so going to be anticipating this used as soon as University of Delaware kind of commits, kind of once they reach that point of no return. Yeah, and you can see Jojo's definitely thinking about it, setting up a nice Amplification Matrix here. Immortality Field comes out. They're trying to hold on. Big picks coming out from Vero, even without having to use an ultimate. And that's going to be Post University taking this point, staying in the match. So, one down, two more to go for Post University Eagles. This is one of the more open points that they're going to be going to now. It was a long walk, which means that both teams are going to get here at roughly the same time. But again, Torreira has this Riptire ready to go. That's going to need to be the name of the game. Wall comes out, isolating MultiKel. They're going to be forced to use their Fortify. Immortality comes out too, so that's going to be big. Here comes the Riptire now from Torreira. Are they going to be able to find anything with it? It finds the way into the back line. Firefly goes down. Soup falls as well. Shy tries to get something going with this overclock, but they're not going to find anything. And that's a big ultimate now that Post University doesn't have to worry about. And again, that Riptire, that's what you're looking for with a Junkrat pick. You're looking for that just like immediate fight win potential with a Riptire. And beautifully played by Torreira as well. So now, MultiKel has the Terra Surge. That in conjunction with Vero's overclock could be big. Firefly does find it. Here comes the Terra Surge now from MultiKel. Can they get anything with it? Vero does go down to Shy, but they do find Frosty Bite, and now Elena goes down as well. So Post University looked like they were in trouble there for just a second, but they have rallied. Firefly goes down as well. It's still not over though. Soup barely doesn't make it out, as Shy does escape. So now, I don't think we're going to see another contest here, which means that it all comes down to this. We have gone the full distance, every single map, every single point here on Flashpoint as well. And we've seen a pretty big swap here coming out. Firefly is on to the Diva now. Post University has to go all the way across the map. I think that this means Delaware is going to be able to get there first. They're going to be able to set up on point, which is going to be problematic because that's been the big thing, is if Delaware can get set up, Post University struggles to keep them off of point. Oh no, but it looks like actually Post University is going to be able to get here first. That's big. Torres about halfway to another Rip Tower. Ursodiumlvl has a sound barrier, and crucially, nothing really on board yet, online yet for University of Delaware. Shy is going to be able to get that overclock going, but it's not going to be here for the start of this fight, and if Post University can keep Firefly from touching, they should be able to capture this point, but Torero goes down. That's a big pick. They get isolated, and now they're going to try and force the issue onto point. Ursodiumlvl and the rest of Post University drop. MultiKel now putting in a lot of damage onto Firefly. They'll be able to get a pick though, but 80% on the board. Shy finds one. Firefly puts a lot of damage into MultiKel. Jojo doing their best to try and heal them up. They're actually getting a lot of percentage on the board here. They're getting so much, as a matter of fact, that this is going to bode well for the retake too. Big stagger, or a big amount of percentage coming out there for Post University. Vero desperately needs to get out, but is not going to be able to. So that little bit of advantage might be gone now as Post University has to regroup, but they've got a lot of big ultimates coming in, crucially to Torero's Riptire. They're going to be looking into an amplification matrix and a sound barrier, plus Firefly is going to have the get out of jail free card self-destruct soon. So, you know, occasionally we'll find a kill. Torero's going to reposition behind the rest of their squad. Post University has to win this fight. Here comes the Riptire. Is he going to be able to find anybody? They have to make sure that Soup does. The Immortality field is out. It's found something. It's dodging around that Immortality, and it finds Soup. Soup drops onto the low ground. Big, huge pickup for Post University. They've got 2 kills. Firefly is down. Frostbite falls as well. So Post University going to be able to retake this point with 42% left to go. They just have to win this final fight. It all comes down to this one right here, because at 82%, if Post University loses this, they lose the map. MultiKel looking for something early here. Does have the Terra Surge. Sound barriers ready to go as well. There's a lot that Post University has to work with, but they do need to watch out for this amplification matrix. They're going to need to bait out this sound barrier as well. MultiKel playing pretty aggressively here. Amplification matrix comes out. MultiKel going in for the Terra Surge right behind the enemy lines. The sound barrier is there. Here comes the self-destruct as well. MultiKel isn't able to find anybody, and the self-destruct finds MultiKel as well. That's going to be huge for University of Delaware as they drop onto the point. Vero able to find Elena, though, so it's not over yet for Post University. Firefly is going to be demeched. Are they going to be able to find the pick on a Firefly as well? Shy does get one onto Jojo. Firefly finds another one, but Torero gets one too. Can they stay on point? Shy, it's a 3v2, I believe. They're able to flip the point right here. Torero finds one before they go down. 88% on the board. Somebody from Post University is going to have to touch. Otherwise, Delaware get a couple away with the match win here. 96% ready to go. MultiKel is on the Diva and onto the point. Trying to put a lot of damage onto Shy. Soup trying to hold on for dear life as well. But here comes the rest of the squad here. A big blizzard from Elena as MultiKel is demeched and taken out of the fight. Shy finds another one. University of Delaware at the 11th hour is going to be able to pull off the victory for the University of Delaware, delivering Post University's first loss of the season, but it took literally everything for them to make it happen. And Shy, what a huge piece of the puzzle here for the University of Delaware. So many big moments from this Sojourn player.
like this never.
And Post University, unfortunately, going to take their first loss of the spring. But, I mean, they fought for every single piece of that match. And I think they still have to feel very proud of themselves after that showing. So, congratulations, I think, are still due to everybody, honestly, in this lobby. What a showing from every single person. Yeah, and again, congratulations to University of Delaware. So, Post University now sitting at a 4-1 record, as is University of Delaware. So, there's a lot of competition heading into playoffs for those top spots, for those, for that great seeding. So, I'm going to throw it to a break here. We're going to see if we can get an interview. If not, I will come back briefly to say goodbye. And regardless, we will be back for more tomorrow. As I'll be back with Overwatch for the first time this spring on Thursday night. So very much so looking forward to that. Don't go anywhere. Should be back soon. So no interview tonight, chat, but thank you all so much for sticking around, supporting your Post University Eagles. Again, congratulations to the University of Delaware Panthers. Be sure to follow Post University on all their social media, anywhere you can find them. Once again, my name, Warren JuggleGod Hammond. GG's, and see you next time.